Okay. Not much has changed since the last video. So back again after a heavy rain, a heavy downpour. I like to go when that stops. It's rained all night long. And I like to go when it stops to go and collect something perfect and special for compost pile. So let's go for a walk down the street in this real light rain we're having here, and I'll go show you exactly what I mean. I have a bucket in my hand. It's got holes in it, so the water or slime doesn't kill all the guys I'm about to go pick up here. I'm going to give away the secret before I even get down there. But anyways, yeah, let's go for a quick walk. Oh, there's one now. And that looks like a small nightcrawler. It is a small nightcrawler. We are on our way to go pick up a whole bunch of worms after the rainstorm. The worms get flooded out of their holes and they come up here to the asphalt and they get washed down to the end of the street. And what I believe is going on there is worms breathe through their skin, and when they get flooded out in the rain, they come up because they can't breathe. Here's another big one. And with them not being able to breathe, they come rushing out and trying to come up here to the asphalt to get out of the rain, just to come and find more water worse than the rain that's washed them out of their holes. So this is a good opportunity to come out and pick up worms. Come on. There you go. For the compost pile. And let me tell you, once you get to the end of the street, the worms are endless. Passed a few up. I'm actually a little bit late, but like I said, it just stopped raining heavy. And coming out here before all the cars and stuff get out here, I get them all before they get squashed like that, because people get up pretty early around here. I'll see this one. It's all crushed and terrible, but it's still alive. Apparently worms have 5 hearts. And you can cut a worm in half and both have to live. If you ever go fishing and you cut a worm in half and you go home from fishing and you still have a bunch of half worms in your bucket, you put them in the refrigerator anyway, and you go fishing again a week later, and those same worms that were in half are still alive, because supposedly they've got like 5 hearts. So worms are amazing and resilient, and even if they're half dead, you can still pick them up because amazingly they'll live. And you can come find them out here too, because you know they're running from the rain, so the rain just stopped and they're just everywhere. And remember, you do this for your compost pile, and if you want to go fishing, you can go and dig them out of your compost pile and don't pay for them in the stores. I don't get very many night crawlers like this, but I do get a ton of earthworms. See, that guy's got a broken tail right there. Rescue them out of the water because they're suffering in the water. See all the smashed ones from people driving by. And it's a little cold, I guess, for the worms, so for the birds, I mean. So the birds aren't really coming out eating them either. In the springtime, I did this for fishing. Before I started gardening here, I did this in the springtime just to collect them for fishing. And the worms would be out here, the birds. The birds would be out here in the springtime eating them all up like crazy. But right now, there's no birds because it's wintertime, it's cold, I suppose. And the birds aren't really trying to get wet, maybe, I don't know. But this is a good way to mend your soil. This is a good way to just collect a whole bunch of worms and put them in pots that you have plants in, and the worms will mend the soil in there. You know, add fertilizer or whatever to your pots later on. But the worms will do most of the job that the fertilizer will do. And I've learned that this year through experience. Everything I everything I planted in my garden with pots, I made sure to put handfuls of worms in them. And I didn't see that anywhere. I just decided to do it because to me it made sense. You know, worms are excavators, however you say that. And they tunnel through and eat whatever is edible for them. And pooping out whatever they poop out. And all that is good for you. And I learned, good for your plants, I mean. And I learned that on YouTube this year, that worms are good for your plants. They even sell what they call worm castings. And what I'm doing here is also helping me collect worm castings, because worm castings are nothing but their poop. So, and probably them shedding, I don't know if worms shed or not, but probably that too. But just collect the worms, man. Guys, just collect the worms and put them in your compost, put them in your pots, and they will definitely help them. And this way it's free. You go to the store and buy 12 or 18 packs of worms and you're paying like $4 or $5. This right here is nothing but me picking them up for free. The only effort is I'm probably dressed too warm, and in about 20 minutes I'm going to be really hot and sweaty. So I'm going to end this video, let you guys know what I'm doing, keep it short and finish picking up these worms. And I'll go ahead and end this video and say peace out. We're already 7 minutes into it. I didn't intend for it to get that long, but that's all right. So there's worms like this all the way down the street and around the corner, and I'll probably get double that when I'm done. So peace out, and I'll let you guys know later on how many I got. All right, peace. Okay, I'm back. I got lots of worms. Let's see. Let me show you guys. I've got probably, I don't know, half a pound maybe of worms here. Let's lift you guys real fast and show you that. I mean, that's quite a bit of worms. But this is like probably the least amount I've gotten. I've been collecting them like crazy every time it rains. But anyways, the reason why you guys are sitting over here is because when I collect these worms, they go straight to the compost pile. So we're going to go ahead and lift everything off the compost pile because I want to do some stuff with it today while it's not raining. So let's go ahead and take everything off. The worms are trying to come through the bottom of this because they got holes in it. But there's not as much slime in it as there was before. So let me bring you guys over here. All right, a little closer now. Got worms everywhere. Hopefully they're not all escaping, but these ones probably did escape. But they are happy worms. Nonetheless, I don't want all of them in there. So let's pull this back. This is a messy job. I'm gonna have to wash my jacket when I'm done. This is what I have been so proud of the last few months. Everything you see on top is worm castings. See all that? These red wigglers in here. That one just disappeared down here. Small wiggler there. The dirt is nice and moist. It's nice and damp. There's a red wiggler. This is all worm castings. Everything on top here. So I start digging out food as I go back to where it's not worm castings. Why are my dogs going crazy? What's going on? Inside. Sorry, Mom. All right, back to the video. My dogs hate that guy's dogs. Anyways, back to the video. So, back to the dirt. Back to the worm castings. Everywhere you look. Oh, there's a night crawler. There's a night crawler. Big red wiggler. Anyways, as I was saying, all this is worm castings up here. And it's all being transformed and eaten. And what's left behind are worm castings. So if you look at this top layer right here, all this fine looking stuff, this is all your worm castings. You know, this is what the worms are leaving behind as they're coming up and eating. And I've been mixing all this together once or twice a month. I was mixing it all once a week. Now I mix it all once or twice a month. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up again now because I wanted to add some vitamin water, which is another reason why I started this video. And another reason why I haven't put these worms in there yet is because I want to do the vitamin water. I mean the water I made, vitamin water. I want to use this here compost tea. So I'm going to take this compost tea and fill up a container, look at that, and feed the compost pile some of this good nutritious compost tea that I've made. So this compost tea I haven't showed yet is, I don't think I did. Anyways, this compost tea is made out of everything from around the yard. There's roots from bottom in the soil, there's leaves, there's grass, there's weeds, stuff from my garden, weeds from my garden, all that's in here, right? And that's one layer. What I'm doing here is layering it, period. Look at that. See all that pour out of there? That's all good liquid compost. And this is the second part of it. So everything that's coming from this one is going into this one. And this one is a lot darker. See how muddy dark that is there? If you look at the water here, it's like tea. So what's happening here is this is filtering out through the bottom of this black bucket that has no holes in it. So obviously this one, I'm sorry, has holes in it. This one has holes in it. This black bucket has no holes in it. And if you push down on it, you can see it's already done what it's gonna do. You push down on it, as it overflows, the water comes out through here and fills up down in here. And this smells like compost you'd buy at the store. It smells really good, really fresh. It actually smells strong now, but it doesn't stink. So my plan today is to go ahead and move this over. Let's go open the gate. Let's grab our jug. I'll go ahead and empty this in here. Do that in there. So what I'm gonna do here now is take this, fill it up, and this may be too strong for plants, but I don't think it's going to be too strong for the worms and all the microorganisms that are living over here. Now, you see all that? Look at the color of that. Tea, you guys. I learned this on YouTube and I started doing it myself. This is my first thing of tea. And I started on this about 2 weeks ago. Look at the worms coming out. But I just want to water the compost pile with this tea here. Because they say that you should water your compost pile often. But this compost pile is wet enough. I drenched this compost pile when I first started to the point to where I had to go all the way to the bottom of this compost pile with a shovel. And I loaded this compost pile from one side to the other, getting everything on the bottom flipped out to the top of this compost pile. It took me about an hour. I'm not even gonna lie, it took about an hour. But I got it all turned over, and I turned all that over the last time, it was about 2 weeks ago. So this is all fresh worm castings up here. And I'm just gonna water all this in here. And oops, this is gonna benefit my plants later on. Yes, I hope I'm doing things good for my garden. I am doing all this. This is basically experimenting, watching what people do on YouTube, and I'm putting my own ideas in. No one has done what I'm doing right now on YouTube, not like this. So this should become very, very good compost for anything I plant. And when I get all my stuff in the mail coming up here, I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna make my own seeding dirt, seeding soil, so I can start my seeds in the soil. And I'll show you guys how I do that too. So as strong as this is, I really feel like that was enough. I feel like that was enough. Now I'm gonna go ahead and spread these guys around in here. Just like that. Spread them towards the back, the middle and the back, because all the bricks go up front. I learned last time I did this, I lifted up the thing, and the time before the last time I did this, I had worms all over this. That was when I had like 3 pounds of worms all over this. And all the worms that were under here were also under the rocks that I removed in the beginning. All those worms died. My theory behind that is because they were weak. You know, they're out there dying. They couldn't get out of the water that they were in because they came out of the grass and into running water, you know. So yeah, I think this is going to be great. Something is telling me I should run another thing of water on here, and I'll probably do that. But right now I'm just going to end the video so they're not too long. I got 2 videos to put together. Now remember, I'll talk more about this compost again on my next video, but this is compost tea. And it's made with, look at all this I'm wasting. Let me show you what I just wasted, because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I just wasted all of this. It hasn't turned brown, completely brown. It's more yellow. It's getting sucked up by this here. And there's rocks and plastic under here, so that's not going to do anybody any good down there. Yeah, anyway, so let's go ahead and end this video, and I'm going to have to put videos together. I'm still new at editing, so I'll try to get this out as soon as I can. But this is what I'm doing right now. I'll make it more clear on another video. But catching worms and making compost tea is what I'm showing you guys on this. And look, this is what I was talking about. This is how I'm getting my dark compost tea. You see that? See how it's overflowing from here? That's how I'm getting my dark compost tea. And I'm putting that tea into everything that is my garden. And I'm even going to dilute this tea down, and I'm going to water all of my wife's stuff, my girlfriend's stuff. She might as well be my wife. I'm going to water all Tracy's stuff and Mom's stuff here and on the back porch with the same thing after I dilute it today. Because this right now might burn the plants. So I don't want to take the chance. I'm going to dilute it. I'm going to use a lot of water with a little bit of this. So like I'll use, so let's call this a 10. I'll put maybe 1 water to, or maybe 1 compost to 9 water. That's how low I'm gonna do it, because this is really strong. So I'm thinking all the rest of this is water, and I'll water the plants with it, and hopefully it won't burn them. Yeah, and that's what's going on. That's what's going on there. So peace out. I'll give another update on the worms, and I'll give another update on the castings and the mulch pile period when I make my next video. And there's going to be a surprise for the next video. My next video hopefully will be an unboxing of everything added new to my garden this year. Last year was a struggle with my garden. This year, starting off my season, will be a lot easier, and it's going to be cheap. So with all that said, laters, peace. Talk to you guys again. Happy gardening.